Welcome to the Land of Bet Sports Betting live show with live show producer Matty. We should probably get some credits in there for you on the official show too. But how you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. I slept in this morning. Yeah, I had a great night last night. Can't complain at all.
Yeah. How did yesterday go for you? You ended up pretty good. Yeah.
I think the only bet I lost was Jabari Walker over. Oh, I parlayed Jabari Walker for 10 points and Dennis for 7 assists for like plus 600 and some change.
Beautiful.
And Jabari came up 1 point short. That's the only bet I lost.
Yeah, he ended up missing. Yeah, it would have been beautiful. But the heater lives is the point because you are currently on one. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I got off and then I got back on. Like the other night after I jinxed myself. I went 5-5 the other night, but I did hit the Spurs at plus 450. So I made up for everything I lost. So that's a W.
That is a W. Yeah, then the heater lives, man. I mean, all you got to do is hit the 1-4-1 to sort of make up for the losses. And if you're still not losing money on a night, then I'd say the heater lives. So I'm happy to say that for you either way. So you know, because I know you don't want to jinx it. So I'll keep it real for you. But we've got 7 games left that we can look at in this one. Want to make sure I got it right. So we're going to take a look at all those. Jump in the comments with your bets, whatever you guys want to look at. We got Swish in the comments as always. The Iron Men for sure. Matty and Swish. I sprung a show on them this morning. I was like, I got to go live today. And they're like, yeah, great, I'm in. So we know they're always around. And there's a lot of folks in the comments that we get as well. Like Mike, always good to see you, bro. Lewis is always in here as well. Got Philly Boy Hog. Yeah, let's get some good stuff. And Josh, good to have you as always. Yehoshua, I love having you in here, man. K Livin, been seeing you around a lot as well. Want to look at Bankero. I'm going to star some of this stuff because, I mean, Matty, how's your card looking? How do you feel about like kind of bouncing around versus sticking into game by game?
It's pretty light. I think I only have like 3 bets down. I snuck in a Musa early this morning at 9.5 rebounds for minus 150. And then outside of that, I think I have 2 other bets.
Musa.
I'm sorry, I have 3 other bets, but that's it. So I have 4 bets on the day.
Beautiful. I'm going to start sharing my screen and bring up this the SwishLand dashboard here, soon to be named something about market pricing. But let's go ahead and get into that. I'm going to share my screen. We'll be taking a look at it, and we'll also probably use a little bit of PropsMadness and getting into all that. So let me act like I've been here before. Actually, figure out how to share my screen correctly. Let's get that there. All right. So this is the SwishLand dashboard. Like we know, it says the projections for everything. One of the first games coming up at 6 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern is that Detroit at Miami game. I feel like there's probably something there. I'm not in a giant rush to take overs just because it's Miami, but I was looking at Cade. And I mean, if you just look at our projections for starters, you kind of notice that Cade is looking at 27 points on his projection from us. And I mean, that seems pretty reasonable to me, actually, when you talk about the bump in pace that Miami gives you. If we look at Cade on the player stuff here, by the way, quick shout out as well to Swish that if you are using the dashboard, it's incredible. Like anything, there's no more waiting times. Let me put it that way. There's just no more waiting. It's awesome. I need to talk about that more in the video. He did some stuff behind the scenes that still beyond me in terms of what he did. But the point is that now noobs like me get to use this without having to wait for anything. That's all happening in the background. So it's beautiful. But Cade here, looking at the points against the Spurs, took a bunch of shots, 26 of them to be specific. Defense was tough. It's a better defense and a slower team than is the Heat here. And that's really what we talk about with the little bump that I want to give Cade, because he's been at like 24, 25 and a half pretty consistently. And if he's at, I guess he's at 25 and a half now. The model still likes it a bunch. I'd be interested to know if Swish has anything on Cade in this one. I know he doesn't want to necessarily play a higher point prop, but what do you think about Cade? He's at least someone that I've noticed if it's at 24 and a half, I like it. This bumped up pretty quick to 25. And then I was like, dang, just that 24 is that push the button number. And now it's at 25, you know?
Kind of indifferent on it. I think it's it's one of the better looks of the day. I don't know if it's one that it's going to end up on my card, if that makes sense.
It does.
But I totally get what you're saying. It's actually going to 26. It's on its way to 26 right now. But it makes a lot of sense. You mentioned because of Miami's defense, I would be worried to take overs because of Detroit's defense personally. But the pace up spot is for Cade, not for Miami. So if there was a reason to want to take it, it'd be the pace up spot.
Right. That's the kind of key thing is like Miami's props are what they are with their pace kind of in consideration. Detroit, if you want to bump him up a little bit because the other side is the team that's not playing as fast is getting a bit of a bump. what to their projection, maybe not to the actual line because of that. Because I mean, it's awesome that Miami's defense is still fourth, and people might look at that and get scared. But in reality, because of how fast they're playing, there's a lot more in terms of available possessions. But I haven't pushed the button on that one. Do you want to go anywhere else with this one? And I'm gonna jump into the comments to see if
I am flirting so hard with Jalen Duren rebounds.
Yeah,
at 10.5. I am like, we are in like talks. I've been talking for weeks, and we just haven't defined the relationship yet. And I don't know if I want to bet it or not. I'm be curious to hear Swish's thought on this. The worry is 11 or 10 the key number here, and the reason I want to take it is because of the pace up spot.
Yeah,
what
I know
worries me a little bit is if they at all Miami plays Ware and Bio at the same time.
Yeah, which they have been. They've been playing for about 10 to 15 minutes a game together, which is not nothing. It's a reason to potentially like Ware at times for more minutes, because part of his minutes limitation was that they didn't want to play him with Bam, and now they do. That said, like, Durant's stuff just seems low, both on the points and the rebounds. I mean, the model's telling us to buy both, and his number was 16.5 on the points for a second. I'm not sure if there's any 16.5s available. But like that open in and of itself was like, what's with the disrespect, y'all? I think it's still hanging 16.5 on FanDuel. Like, there's nobody back for this team that would make you feel weird about it.
There is one other person. One other person that was in the back of my brain. I'm like, does this really matter? And that is Beef Stew.
Right. The other thing,
but does that cancel out Ware too? Right. So it's like, I don't know.
And is Osar out though? I think.
Yeah, I would tend to lean that Asar is out. I that's not official, obviously.
I thought it was official. It's still questionable.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think
maybe it is official.
Yeah,
that would make me feel good about it.
But he and LeVert are out.
Okay. I'm still question marking Beef Stew personally, but I think 10.5 is a really good line for rebounds.
And it's hovering, because there are 11.5s for plus money on a couple of these books, and then there's some 10.5s available for Durant as well. So. Yeah, man, I'm thinking about it if you're talking about the 16.5s, I think in the chat people were talking about 16.5s for Durant. I mean, the number on the projections alone is 20 on the points. Let me pull up PropsMadness real quick for those of y'all not familiar.
There's 116.5 at FanDuel right now.
It is. Yeah, that's the spot. Yeah, and then the boards are actually higher on FanDuel. Minus 115 is crazy different. It might come down to 16.5 in other spots because it's in the plus 126 on Pinnacle. I was just going to see, I don't remember what he's done. I know he missed a game. So he played one game. He only played 18 minutes, even though he only had one foul. Maybe he got hurt in that game. 5 boards in 18. I mean, this is all in 18 minutes. So 12 points in 18 minutes is pretty much domination. And if you just look at the shot chart for this team, like, it's not as good of a paint defense as it's been in the past. Maybe that's changed recently with Ware. I'd have to double check because he's been playing more minutes, but they've also been playing weird teams. If we just kind of come down to the recent stuff, we're not going to have recent stuff for Jalen Duren. Yeah, some of the recent games haven't had the potentials in there. The PR, you're speaking my language, man. I don't know why I'm so scared to like put down on something in this game with the pace up, but it's because I'm also trying to find some more unders. But
totally.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll put a pin in it for a second. Let me get my notes so I can just make sure I don't forget Jalen Duren. I was going to go somewhere that the comments were taking us. I starred a couple here. Should we look at Orlando for a minute? I think there's at least something to talk about.
I have one pick in that game.
You have nothing?
I have one pick in that game.
Okay. Let's start with Banchero as our excuse to talk about this game real quick and see if the boards mean anything to us. Did you have a look-see at him? He's at our projections are 22.5 and about 8, which I imagine are his lines in this game.
I'm trying to find it. PropsMadness was confusing me for a second. For Banchero, what was the look?
20, the specific look was boards against Milwaukee. I mean, Banchero interests me because there's no Giannis, and that's it. So that's my cap right there. In this last game against them, he had 6 potential rebounds and 4 actual rebounds in almost 40 minutes in an 8-point loss. I wonder if he was guarding like Miles Turner or something like that.
I have no qualms with it. My quarrel would be I have a fighting like a cannibalizing bet.
Well, I'm gonna go to just look at who Paolo guarded in that last game, but you can keep going. I got on the 11th is when they played. I just want to look at that.
So if you're in the Discord and you would have seen this already. I'm taking Jalen Suggs over 9.5 RA. One,
9.5.
The assists are there. Two, we've already bet this versus team without Giannis, and then three, we were betting this at 7.5, 9.5, even at 10.5. Back down to 9.5. Giannis isn't there, and Jalen Suggs has been cooking on the assist. So I think you get a little bit of a boost from the assist alone, but an unknown denominator from the rebounds. And I want to say, he hooked us on the rebounds specifically against Milwaukee earlier this season, but his assists were 10 and 10 in back-to-back games. So
9.5.
I'm taking the RA specifically for Suggs. So I mean the rebounds could be there for Banchero. I don't want to take two competing props in the same game for myself.
Yeah.
But let's
I have no qualms with real quick. I think one way to look at this is that look at the onslaught that the Magic have played. It was the Timberwolves, boo-boo Mavs, boo-boo Wizards, but then there was a couple of tough games. So like 3 of their last 5 opponents have been good. He's been hovering around 9.5, but there's been some blowouts in there too. 17-27, they lost by 14. They won by So like some of these blowouts or good teams have kind of kept his stuff down. This is only a 6-point spread, so I'm not as worried about the blowout. So if you're talking about RA for Suggs, once we get below 10.5, I'm here for the conversation for sure. Like we've known that for him. One thing relevant to Paolo that I just wanted to get into is like I was actually correct in the guess where I was like, why were Paolo's rebound chances so low in this last game against Milwaukee? Right, because if we're on the player side of things here on the SwishLand dashboard, you're going to see you can look at this game versus Milwaukee on right before the break there, the All-Star break. He played 39 minutes. They lost by 8. You know they were trying to win. He had 6 potential boards and just 4 boards. And I'm like, well, then was he standing super far from the basket? Why was he just not in position for boards? That's when you want to go to the matchup and see who he was actually one-on-one guarding. And he was the guy guarding Miles Turner, who does what? Stands his giant big for nothing ass out at the 3-point line, right? The whole time. So yeah, this is kind of like a little bit deflating for me to want to take it just based on the matchup alone, knowing he's probably going to guard the same guy. We had all the same guys available in that game before the break that they played.
While you're there, can you also check and see who Suggs is on?
Yeah.
And to answer Swish, where you're at?
Looks like he's mostly on Kuz, and then when Cam Thomas got time in that game, maybe there will be some more Cam Thomas.
Oh, then I like that. I'm fine with that. To answer Swish, question specifically, and I don't mean to sound so sure of myself. I don't think it matters.
I remember you said that last time. You're like, I don't care about Anthony Black.
Yeah, I remember I took his assists that particular game. He popped. I think he had 9 out of 5.5. I don't think it matters. If anything, it helps if he's in.
To have someone to hit. Could be. Yeah. Suggs was guarding Cam Thomas. I don't know. I mean, that kind of puts him out of position for rebound. If he is guarding the other guy's best player at the top of the key, it kind of sucks for boards. But I'm not going to, I guess basically that matchup data alone was enough for me to kind of stay off of Paolo rebounds. Plus his potentials are kind of not always there. So I'm not in love with a 8.5 for him in this matchup specifically. I know the Bucks are not really a good rebounding team overall, especially without Giannis. But again, the matchup of who he's guarding matters enough to me there.
Sure.
Your bet was Suggs, right?
Yeah. 9.5 RA.
And then K Living also wanted to know about Tristan da Silva. I've been staying away from him unless there's like a bevy of guys out. Has he been?
That would matter with Anthony Black specifically.
Right. And we have Black listed still questionable, only at 21 minutes because I think he hasn't played much as of late. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. So let me look at the player stuff for Da Silva for a second, see if he's had some bump that I haven't been paying attention to. The minutes here, he did play 31 against Minnesota. I wonder if he got blowout minutes there. I wonder, has he been starting? I have not been betting on the Magic, so I have not been spending a lot of time looking at any of their box scores or anything like that. I'll be totally honest. So I'm not gonna have much for you on Da Silva unless he's been doing something. If you guys have a look for why too, I'd be interested to hear why you like that as well, K Living. Let me know if you have any thoughts on it. But yeah, I'm not gonna have much for you unless there's like some big he's been playing without another guy, and that guy's if Black is out, maybe we wait for that and come back to Da Silva on the Rebs. But
Black got injured last game, and Da Silva got the full bump.
He did.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Black's out, then we can come back to De Silva. That makes sense to me. I'm gonna keep rolling, see if there's other stuff. I don't really necessarily care about the games at this point. We'll come back to him. We got to at least talk about the Reed train. Coolio's just here for the Reed Shepherd bets. Let's see what Reed is at right now. And there's nobody really questionable or anything like that for Houston, I don't believe. Jabari's questionable still. I thought he was in. Am I tripping? Do you have anything on Jabari specifically? I don't know if you saw anything on him.
I don't think I've seen anything recently about Jabari.
He would have had to change for nothing on the Rockets. Okay, we'll come back. So Reed, we have him down to about 15.5 on the points. His minutes have been high no matter what. I mean, he's back in the starting. He's in that starting lineup at this point. I think there's been a resignation on the part of Ime Udoka to go, I have to play this dude, even if I don't think he's a world-class defender. But I already hit Reed 13.5 points. I don't know if that went up at all. Did you end up playing this yet or no?
I did. I only played it for 3/4 of a unit. The Jabari does matter to me. I do hear you about him. It makes sense why he would be in the lineup because really your only offensive motor is Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And I'm very indifferent on it. I did take the 14.5, so by proxy I want to take the 13.5. But it's the Spurs. And you could be seeing the bump there. You could be seeing the bump because of Jabari being out. Are we seeing the bump for both? I don't know. Yeah. And that's the confusing part to me. But I did bet it.
Yeah. And you know why you bet it? Because you don't get up from the table when you're on a heater. And we've been betting Reed, right? So like we're betting with the house's money right now. Not really. I still have money to make. The house still owes me some. But for Reed, yeah, like to me, the intel of what I'm seeing, bit of the eye test, bit of just the minutes, bit of seeing him start, and just the scuttlebutt, like listening to a podcast and guys like Zach Lowe love Reed Shepherd and just want him to get more minutes. Like seems like that's sort of the vibe in general, and the reporting out of there.
My singular pushback would be, and I'm sure a lot of y'all called me crazy at the beginning when we were talking about Reed last podcast. However, like he started slow. He missed a lot of shots. And he was in a pace-up spot with Portland, and he just got over by 3 points. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, I feel validated, but like there's the regression to the mean that I'm referring to. Now you're playing the Spurs, and you're losing 2 points, a point off the line that we took. And so that's really my only pushback, but I took it. So
yep. Yeah, it's 13.5 is just going to be a buy number for me right now when I think we are safely projecting him for about 15.5 in full minutes. He's been getting full minutes with Jabari in there as well. Blowout, no blowout. Like he's just brings a different dynamic to the team than what they have with everybody else. So I like that bet. Yeah, we're on that together here, Coolio. If you're into to Reed today, go ahead and give that video a like too. Haven't asked for that, but we got a bunch of people jumping in, so much appreciated. I am gonna let everybody know since we have some folks in here. If you're interested in checking out this dashboard, got a code for you that I made up right before the show started. It's I don't think David's in here. But if you want to jump in for 50% off on your first month and check this stuff out, you can use code DELTA. That'll get you 50% off on that first month. So just want to put that out here just for the show. I'm gonna basically stop this tomorrow. So anybody who's in the show right now, you can get in there, like I said, for everything on the dashboard. That's going to include access to the Discord as well, the VIP Discord, where Swish and Matty and I are answering your guys' questions and having some live office hours with just the VIP, so that we can get all that a little bit more together. So let's keep going. I don't know if there's anywhere else you'd look in this game. Did you have anything besides Reed in this one?
Let me look at the lines again. I don't believe I did, but before I say that officially, let me see what we got.
I don't think I saw anything else in this one. I had something that I'd be down to look at, which was Alpi on the dimes. I'll actually use PropsMadness for a minute to look at that because it's really just a starting point for me. Is like, it's the thing that when you play the Spurs and you're a center, you're not really trying to go and get blocked by Wemby that often. So you end up passing out a bunch, passing the ball out, not passing out, like passing out. But If you look at Alpe's assists at 5.5, it's always going to look good. He has been really low though on the potential assists lately, and that's been a big issue for Alpe's assists. Obviously, there's been some blowouts, not too many though. Honestly, actually, there has not been a single blowout in that time frame, so that's going to scare you. But the reason I pulled up PropsMadness is because defensive rank versus position is 30th. The Spurs are dead last, limiting assists to centers, probably because they give up the most potential assists to the position because of what I said. You have an alien standing in front of the rim. You're not really trying to get blocked and be on Sports Center that often. So Şengün assists, I haven't hit it for that reason, right? If we pull him up here, you're going to see the recent numbers for him are brutal because there haven't been very many potentials. So this down here, these recent numbers that are right under the chart and the bar graph here, you're going to see what his recent volume has been. And his recent volume just on recent potential assists has basically been an average of like 7 potential assists per game that he's been getting. That doesn't make me feel good about him getting 5 against the Spurs, whether they're dead last or they were 38th limiting assists in general. So I just wanted to bring it up because defense versus position sometimes can be something like if it's 30th and it's not 16th, right? I don't care about 20th. I care about 30th, but I don't know if I care about it enough in this matchup. Would you be staying away from this too?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way you do. I don't want to speak ad nauseum, but 100%. The two things
validation. Go ahead. What you got?
I think you're cooking with that theory. The two things I was looking at, I haven't actually bet these, but Castle assists at 6.5, I think is pretty interesting. And then
let's start there. But
go ahead.
No, because Stefan Castle was someone that I was looking at in the chat earlier with, I think it was Jay First was talking about it. And yeah, he was talking about points and assists. And I thought it was interesting that Castle has had a dip in points as our boy Fox has decided to just give us the big FU. And we've been taking under on Fox. And then he decided to up to his usage to 100% or whatever it was last game. And that's eaten into Castle's points. The dimes are a bit there more for him. You look at the green line, what we're looking at here is just his expected assists based on the potentials and the minutes and the touches, etc. So when you look at that here, like 12 potential assists against the Clips, I don't know how many he had. I actually have to look at that, but he ended 12 dimes. I think he had like 18 or 16 potentials against Detroit, 12 dimes in that one. So his assists have been high. His points have been low, right? Assists up at about 6.7, points at about 16.5, even though that's actually not taking into consideration that Detroit game. But you see what I'm saying? So like, I do think the assists are better than the points just based on recent stuff, but the matchup is brutal for both. So where do you stand with it?
I lean over. Again, I haven't bet this myself, but I lean over because this right here, this is it. With Castle Spurs, a lot less blowouts lately. And he's playing longer in the games, and I don't know that the market's adjusted to that enough.
That's a good call. Yeah, one game where they won by 40, obviously lost some minutes, and that was a brutal Knicks game. But when it's been close, he's at full minutes. I totally get it. I think if we go to our PropsMadness, his head-to-head stuff was not great on the points and assists in this matchup. But I will say I looked at the matchup too. So this is points averaging about 14, and the dimes he's at 9 because he had the 13-8. The potentials are 6, 18, 21. Golly.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward hitting it.
Fox was missing in one, Vassell in another, but that's an insane amount of potentials against them. And then when we looked at the matchup earlier, you saw that Amin is guarding Fox, and Jabari is actually guarding Stefan Castle.
Yeah,
not a bad defender by any means, and not an easy matchup in general against the Rockets. But yeah, I can see that. So you would just take the assists at 6.5.
I think so. I think the rebounds. There's too many demons in this game that are very good at rebounding for me to feel good with the RA, and the RA is pretty fair at 11.5. I think
11.5.
So I would go assists over RA specifically.
When I've been looking at RA for Castle, and I think you're in the same boat, like 10.5 is a really like you've got my strong attention, and 11.5 is like I'm gonna need him to be playing 34 minutes in a good matchup, right? For 11.5 to the over, basically.
Yes, for specifically 10.5, it's him playing 10.5 or having 10.5 in a game that you know he's going over.
He's going
like having like for example the Detroit game, his first Detroit game. He had been playing a couple different blowouts previous to that, and Harper was getting a lot of minutes in those games. Yeah. And so Castle was losing the minutes, and we got a soft line in a game that really mattered that he was. So in those types of situations specifically is what I like.
It's a great look. Yeah. This was a spot against the Pistons after he'd been playing a bunch of cupcakes where then he got this tough one and then the minutes went back up to a degree. And then, over here and the other cupcakes loses minutes, big minutes against good teams. So it's almost just like, better opponent. You can feel strongly about him playing full minutes and then you feel better about anything for him for assists, rebounds,
totally.
etc. So I like that. You had another spot you were going to go into with this game real quick?
I haven't. I don't feel as comfortable with this one, but I again in talks with it, flirting with it. Not as long as Duren though. 9.5 points for Harper just might be too low. Might be too low.
This is the man that's made you some money as well.
Yeah.
And you've got a buy number, even though it's like this 10 is the line is 9.5. The 10 is indicative that it's a difficult opponent because the projection, the adjusted line should go up based on the opponent. So if it's saying he's going to get 9.5 against the Rockets, is like saying he's going to get 10 against an easier team. So
let's just say if this was 8.5, I would be smashing it.
It's still a buy at that number. When you look at the previous 10.5s that he's had consistently, 9.5 is a buy spot for him. Close game points. What you haven't pulled the trigger though.
Yeah, I am flirting with it. 8.5, I'll be smashing the number.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get 8.5. Are you? What's this?
No,
that's about flat. Not. Yeah, it could go either. It seems like it's pretty much even on both sides.
If you get lucky live in the first quarter and you catch it a soft 8.5, I would hit it.
That's fair. Yeah, he's been at about a 10.5, 11 point projection based on his usage in some of these games. That's over average, and a bunch of these have been blowouts too, whether they got blown up by the Knicks or blew out the 76ers, et cetera. So
I think I would make this line 10.5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what you're saying is you'd make this line 10.5, and it's at 9.5. That's pretty much it. So I'm with that. I see these comments coming in on overdrive for Swish. My man's going to need a cigarette after the show. Doesn't even smoke. But yeah, Mad Star Forever was in the same boat as you, Matt, and wanted to know about that. So appreciate you bringing that one up. Anywhere else that did you have one more that you were just talking about?
No, but I'm in good company. So.
There you go. Should be 10.5. Love it. Let me see if there's anything else we want to talk about.
You want to look at Durant under 5.5 rebounds?
Sure.
I haven't seen anything on this specifically. I did look at his rebounds earlier, and as I was looking to take the over, but I wasn't convinced. So it makes sense.
I never know with KD on like this is a Zoe question. Isn't she the RA queen for Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
I truly don't know. The rebounds for Kevin Durant have always and forever been somewhat of a rando bet for me. I haven't really known how to cap that forever. Sometimes he's blocking shots. Sometimes I guess it depends on the matchup. I don't know who would matchup would be specifically. Potentially someone like Champs or something like that. Let's just see what he's done head to head versus them. If there's something there to draw us to it, I'm gonna look at KD head to head on the boards. Okay, let's see. 11 potentials, 5 and 7. That's not very many. That's 7 or 8-ish potential rebounds on average. Looks like people are on that same train with you who splashed, because the under it is 4.5 in some spots. I can see that as an under in this matchup. I would want to look at who they matched up with. I'm gonna look at it real quick because now you've got my attention. If it's like a good matchup for him to go under, I think that makes sense. When did they play? I just had that up. They played Jan 28th. I knew that. All right, let's go back to this real quick. We can also start to get into other stuff. Actually, this will take 2 seconds. January 28th. Let's just see the last one. KD, they lost.
I'll be right back.
This was a game that I think it was like 50. It was like I don't know. It was like 110 points at the half in this one. And then it ended with like such a low scoring game as everybody just sort of sucked at the end. I'm looking at the matchups here. This is just on NBA.com. You just go to the box score and then you can see all the matchups. So defensive player for KD. Oh, I was close. He was guarding Shampson like Keldon Johnson. It's not bad for rebounds. I don't know. His rebound chance has been low against his team. That's a little bit of noise probably. So I don't have much for you, but the market tends to agree that under 5.5. I think there's just too much noise that I'm looking for here when I start trying to see this stuff, and they're just switching everything on the Rockets. So you just see all the Rockets guys guarding somebody for like almost the same amount of time because they'll just switch everything essentially. So, all right, let me keep rolling. See if there's anything else. Go ahead and give that video a like. Much appreciated. I'm gonna get back into the dashboard here. Let's talk about the Pacers game. I had a Pascal question. There might be something there. If you guys also see anything up, if any of these notifications come in about guys that are going to be in or out, what have you, please let me know, because I'm looking for that Chicago game with like Giddey and Matas. I want to know if they're playing. And then what's the other injury news that I was waiting on? Let me pull it up right here, because they usually give us one. I think Flag is in. Denny. Yeah, I guess I care about that. I do care about Kuz. I basically care about Kuz, Denny, Giddey, and Matas. I want to know if they're going to be available. So we'll wait to see on that stuff. But looking at that Pacers game, the first question I had was for Pascal. And I did hit Pascal over 21.5 points. And I hit him over 30.5 on the PRA. We have him in 30 minutes. That's about what he's been playing. And the biggest threat to this bet is that they don't care, and that they're not only do they not care about winning, they would actively like to lose. That would be the big threat to the bet, is like, we're cooking, Pascal's got a bunch of points, and then all of a sudden it's the fourth quarter and we don't see Pascal for like more than a minute. But Nembhard status is big. That's true. And we can talk about Klingon in a sec too. All that stuff's good. Those are the two places I'm looking. But Pascal without Nemby is... Hold on, I got it right here. I deleted it because I put the bet up. Pascal without Nemby is 36.5 PRA so far. Looking at about 26.5 points. It's the only other guy that takes usage from him. I mean, Neesmith is in, but he's not on ball that much. So the PRA was why I also was like, if Nemby's out, the PRA is a great look because he'll get a bunch more dimes, averaging like 5.5 without Nembhard. Big ups, big more touches, big everything. So the fast pace for Portland, all of it. Did you like Pascal at all when I put that out in the VIP earlier? Or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't take it. My concern, I like it. Let me be very clear. I really want to take it. It's the right number to take it. The reasoning is sound to take it. It's Russian roulette with do they care? And I like, I'm trying to think how to explain this. It's like, I'm down to take a Russian roulette bet like once a week, if that makes sense. And you know, for example, I took the under on Trey Johnson like last week at 18.5 PRA. Not sure I'm ready to bet that every single game. Because like there are going to be games where they're trying to like, hey guys, I'm definitely not tanking. I'm like, just watch. I'm dead. And I just don't know what that spot is. But I did like it. Your point was last time Pascal, Nembhard, TJ, a bunch of people were in that particular game. And I'm like, this is a soft line I'm hitting.
Yeah.
This particular game, I'm a little bit worried because Nembhard has the chance of sitting.
Yeah. That makes sense. And yeah, we were talking about that in this game against the Lakers where we bet over on Pascal points. And it was like, well, it seems like they're trying. So, because they have more guys available. And if Nembhard's out, I don't know. To be honest, like it was also like the Lakers are better than the Timberwolves, the Trailblazers, right? So it's kind of like you can play all of them against the Lakers. I feel like you're trying. If you sit Nembhard against the Blazers, you can still play Pascal a bunch and still lose this game without worry that like other guys are going to necessarily take over the way Nembhard could if he was in. So that's why I was like, I'm looking at all these minutes, man. I'm just like 29, 30, 29, 37, 24 because they lose by 18 to Toronto, whatever, 33, 33, 33, 36, 35. So in the last 10 games for this dude, he's playing like 32 minutes a game there's huge gaps in here as well, right? Like he didn't play like a week here, missed another one in between these. So like there's gaps. And when he's not playing, he gets 0 minutes. But when he does play, he's getting like an average of about 31, 32, and they can still lose comfortably unless they play the doo-doo Knicks, who are freaking bipolar. So yeah, I think we're good there. I do like the Pascal stuff. And yeah, the Nembhard being out would be amazing, but I already hit all of that. In the event that if he's out, it's going to go up. I don't know if it goes down too much more, but yeah, then Kling Kong would be the next look. Did you have a thought on Donovan Klingon?
Let's go to Huff first, and then we can go to Klingon after that.
Yeah, you got a J Huff take?
Coolio did. I'm not sure the...
4.5 3-point attempts. Yes, I think anything to do with Huff threes makes sense because of playing the drop defense for Klingon. He doesn't want to come out from his hidey hole next to the rim. So I totally get the J Huff threes. I don't know if his 3 attempts have been there, but let's take a quick look at J Huff on PropsMadness. Should mention, if you guys do not have PropsMadness too, I have a code for that. It's LYB, gets you 25% off on your first month for this one. So let me get to the threes for Huff. we don't be playing as many threes around these parts. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I'm always down for a conversation about, oh, Lord, yeah. So I guess other people probably like this as well. I don't know if I'd be hitting centers to hit 2 threes at minus 150 or minus 170 or whatever you can get this at. So I get that. His attempts have been at like 6, 8, 3, 8 against, I don't know, Brolo. I guess that's drop defense. But I don't know if you want to bank on that 8 attempts or anything like that. So I don't know if minus 150 is going to be worth it for Huff. 4.5 attempts makes sense if that was if you're playing like prize picks or something. I think 3.5, 4.5 attempts makes sense, but that's just caution to the wind for me saying that. So the other one was Kling Kong.
Yeah, I'm very, 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 very Donovan curious.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to convince myself to take this.
Which one?
I was looking at the points specifically. I thought 12.5 was a little high because of Robert. It's still the Pacers though, so he could still get 13 and a half and 13 boards. Like it's still very possible, but I think he plays like 29 minutes maximum with Robert in. However, it's the Pacers. So I think that it's a very good number.
I know it's tough. 12.5. You're right. Like if we look at the rebounds, there is something to putting Rob Will in, right? I think that does drastically change things for him on the season. So he's at 10.4 in, is it the minutes that go down? Not really even. It's just that like it's 20. I guess the floor, the ceiling of his minutes kind of drops, right? So you were talking about 29 minutes for him. And that makes sense. And even 29 is more than he's played on average with Rob Will. I don't know if there's anything with Rob and without Denny. And actually, his minutes are 25 at that point. So, yeah.
It's difficult to get there, and I'm having to convince myself too. So that season, I stayed off of it personally.
We're trying to get there. The model's doing a lot of what we're trying to do here, right? Like the model is taking a lot of the factors that we're looking at into consideration. Rob Will being in, the minutes, the opponent, and it's all coming to the same conclusion. It's like, yeah, that's pretty fair. Even as bad as Indy is, 12.5 in this situation. Like I might be down to take. I think we're both saying we'd be taking 12.5 if Robert Williams wasn't playing. And we were like, Klingon could play 36 minutes tonight.
I wouldn't pay Vig here.
Right.
I would play just straight up, put like a quarter unit on 15 rebounds and cross my fingers.
Probably 15-15. Because if he's getting 15 boards and like 6 of them are on offense, then like
that's a great point.
He's putting one of them back. So yeah, I think like 15-15 for Donovan is a better play than just over 12.5 or over PR or something like that. Because it would have to just be like he's going off and then maybe he gets a few more from minutes from Rob Will if he is having a big game. But yeah, I'll
keep it 100. If he gets 13 rebounds, he's gonna get 15. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
He has as much opportunity to get 15 rebounds in his set time frame as he does 12.5.
Right. Yeah, it's just not worth the money. You're just playing a bit more of a lotto to just increase your ROI there. The Jrue stuff.
Oh, do you want to hit this really quickly?
I do want to. I just wanted to look and see if we're going to add Jrue, and then I was going to get right to that. But we got you, Ty Lamex. I got you. We saw what you're asking, and I'm happy to do that for everybody in a sec. And Donald's super late, so we have to go over it, bro. Are you kidding me? We're not going to leave Donald hanging either. PRA, anything? Jrue? I mean, these points, we can't ignore this 4-point differential between his line and the rejection that we have for him. Can we ignore it? Wait, can we? We might be able to, you're saying.
I don't have a read on it personally, but I understand that there is a read to be had. I don't know enough about Portland outside of bet Donovan Klingon when Robert Williams is sitting.
Yeah.
That's kind of my angle.
Kamara at 11.5 points or less. That's our other Portland play.
Yeah, 100%. And Jrue Holiday was cooking earlier in the season. Like I hit a couple of those, but it was only because I had a friend in my ear telling me, "Hey, kids mispriced, play him," and I did. But since he's came back from injury, and since Denny has been injury prone, and people in and out of the lineup, I don't know what to do with this team, any of the guards specifically.
Yeah, the numbers got high for him. So, like, you just have to keep trying to, like, so we do have the Delta. Speaking of Delta, just making it clear, we got a couple more people in here. If you want to get 50% off, just offering this for the live show only. This is just a live show code. So just going to cap this to basically tonight. And so if you want to get in for 50% off, this is only going to be available for the rest of today, just because y'all are in the live show. We just got a little one on Sunday. So it's code Delta if you want 50% off, because and this is what reminded me of it, is this little Delta right here is what we're looking for sometimes when we're trying to find some bets that might make sense, right? You look at Jrue and the green line is what the expected outcome of his points, or in this case, assists have been. Not as big of a delta, a little bit on the points too, but mostly on the dimes over the course of the last 2 or 3 games. This green line has been much higher because his potentials have been so high that we were basically saying like he should be expected to get 12 assists because he had 21 potentials against Houston, which you can see right here. And that's the thing, is like, it's Houston. He shouldn't be doing this against Houston, and he's doing it against Houston.
Right.
Why wouldn't he be doing it against the Pacers? This is like the number 2 assist defense in the league for the Rockets. I don't know, man. I don't know how to get there. It's just like, I feel like I missed the train because I still haven't bet Jrue. It's kind of like, I feel like you were saying that a little bit. It's like, people have been telling you about Jrue. You hit it when it was lower, then it kept going up, and you're like, I got to stay away now. And he kept going over, but the market's cut up. So there's just not as much value on that, even against the Pacers. That's
right.
Sucks because I want to bet it, but I don't know if I can. All right, let's recap real quick. You want to go through any what we might have gone over at this point, and give us a like real quick for Matty. Much appreciated for you going over this real quick, Matty.
So we discussed Pistons and the Heat. We thought I was looking at Jalen Duren rebounds, kind of indifferent on it at 10.5, but I'm flirting with it heavy. What else do we have in this game? Did we have anything else? Oh yeah, you mentioned Cade Cunningham at 25.5, which I think he's going to get a bump up spot, so it kind of makes sense. It's moving to 26.5 right now.
Yeah, I mentioned him at 24.5 as my just push the button number, and
okay,
I might be staying away at 25.5. I have like a few minutes to figure that out, and I feel like I'm just, if it's not a hell yeah, then it's a hell no at this point for me.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's a look at 25.5.
I'm going to bet this Stephon Castle over 6.5 assists. I'm going to bet that. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to.
Maddie was talking about that earlier, yeah.
Flirting with Harper over 9.5 points. What else in this game?
Reed Shepherd 25 minutes at 11 points to back you up.
Reed Shepherd over 13.5 points. I'll let you go on your.
Nah, I mean, it's Reed Shepherd. I think the biggest thing for me, again, with Reed is that the intel, the vibe, the minutes, the starting lineup, everything is that Reed is needed. We need more Reed on the court, essentially. So with more Reed comes a pretty low projection, a pretty low number at 13.5 for him, when he's been flying over that number. And Jabari missed a few games that Reed was playing out there, but he's in the starting lineup. There's no more Josh Okogie. Tari Eason's not in the starting lineup. Who else was taking starting lineup spots from Reed? Whoever it was, they couldn't shoot. And so this is the only reason, the only dude on your team that's just firing. So I think he's different than anybody else on the squad. There's other white guys, right? Damn, it sucks because I was like, he's different than everybody else because he might be the only white guy. But I didn't mean because he's the only white guy. I meant because he's the only guy that could pull up and shoot besides Kevin Durant. Let's keep it rolling. What else we got?
I took Jalen Suggs over 9.5 rebounds and assists. If you want to go,
says that about Jalen Suggs. We were hitting this. You hit this at 10.5 in worse situations, right?
Yes, I mean I've been on this train to 7.5 RA, but
Yep.
Suggs RA over 9.5. If you want the safer play, 5.5 assists. But the key opponent, the reason I went with RA here is because Giannis is out.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to that's us caught up right there.
I think we're caught up. Yeah, appreciate that. So we got a bunch of looks in there. I know you went fast. You got questions? We're in the comments. The Great White Hype. Wow, that's a tough nickname. Hopefully he lives that one out. What else we got? Let's see. I don't know if I believe I have other stuff on my card. Let me pull up what I got down real quick. Also the free Discord is available too. Just want to put that out there. We got the link in the description of the video, and I bring that up because Maddie and the queen herself, Zoe, in the Discord, the free section, are starting to give out their top 4 straights every day, trying to get people to buy into the idea that straight bets and not just parlays will win you money. Thank you for bringing that up. My man's always prepared. So this is the little sexy graphic that we've got that he's going to be pulling up so that whenever it's each day in the free section, right? You don't have to be paying for nothing. It's all on the Discord. That link is in the description of the video as well if you guys want to get into the free part of the Discord. So link in the description, but appreciate you, Maddie. Let's keep rolling. We'll get to, let's see what we got here. That's you sharing, right? All right, cool. Yeah, I was looking at what else I had, but then I got distracted myself, as I want to do. What were the other things that I was looking at right quick? Just want to see where we want to go. And if anything in the comments interests you, let me know. I did take Rollins is gone. That's what it was. I took Ryan Rollins earlier in the day. Dude, there was like a solid hour that Ryan Rollins was at 25.5 PRA with Kevin Porter Jr. Questionable, or excuse me, doubtful. Like, it was like he's most likely not going to play. And yet Ryan Rollins was at 25.5 PRA. He's averaging 36.5 PRA just without those two guys alone, without Giannis and without Kevin Porter Jr. So just something to keep in mind. And it's up at, we have, let's see, this is 523. We have it about 29 to 30 PRA. It's probably still at 32, but man, 25.5 was a steal. And that, like I said, was available for a while. But a Josh Giddey look from Lewis. We don't have an update on him, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing that I've seen. Nope.
I'm tempted to go over, because sometimes I'm like, yo, why, if someone's questionable, but you like the number, like, just because they're questionable in today's NBA especially does not mean that they're on a minutes limit. It's probably some weirdness with, like, I don't know what game they're playing behind the closed doors, but I don't think that Josh Giddey's actually like questionable. Like, if this was a playoff game, Josh Giddey's playing, right? So I still like the RA at 14.5 if that number's available. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Do you have any thoughts on Giddey?
Nothing specific on Giddey, but DeRozan was just ruled out.
This is where I go. I saw somebody in the comments asking about Maxime Reynaud versus Precious. We'll talk about that in a bit, but Neat Clifford would be the next guy up. I don't want to bet too much on this team. I'm gonna be honest with you, because Russ has been playing like 30 something minutes. I'm good on that stuff. Giddey on the RA, and if he's not in, then Trey Jones. So I'm just not going to force it. I'm going to wait for the news. I think 5.5 for Trey Jones might be good now. This might be the play anyway. I don't know what his potentials were against Phoenix, but even in that OKC game, he was at 13 potential assists. In this game right now, we have him at about 5 in just 13 minutes, which he probably get closer to 20. But I don't mind this right now. Do you have any thoughts on this game or anything I'm talking about in general?
I'm busy trolling Swish in the game in the chat right now.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's important too.
I don't know if it's sexy. I think he sold some people recently, but I'm looking at Maxime over 9.5 rebounds. That was on the graphic that we just showed a moment ago. The reason I like
that you had,
because it's Chicago. Who is going to be playing center for Chicago? Will they have anyone out there?
Jalen Smith's questionable. I just want to put that in your ear.
Okay.
And fair
9.5 is a great number.
Fair point.
And so, I think
I'll get to Maxime for you. Where's the kid? On y va, Maxime.
That's on me, Swish. I apologize for sarcasm.
Rebs, right?
Yep.
So does this scare you, the 26 minutes last game?
That's the point where I'm like, it's not sexy.
Yeah.
I think the Precious thing is, I want to be very forward. If you want to bet Precious right now and you've been betting Precious, keep doing it. I think it is 100% just a trend. I don't think there's any merit to any reason why you take Precious over Maxime or you take Maxime over Precious. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just his lowest minute output right now is 27 minutes. There's a 21. Yeah. So, but look how random that is, dude. 34 against the Magic, 21 against the Spurs. Maxime's in. Like, I'm out on all of it, but like I would prefer. It makes sense that it should be Maxime. That's I'll agree with that. I'm definitely not trashing the bet in any way. But go ahead.
No, I totally get what you're saying. Like I understand. I was expecting pushback when I brought it up.
Yeah.
Because he only played 27 minutes in that one game.
Yeah.
But this is the reason I'm taking it, because like we're getting an incredible number because of that. Again, the 27 minutes he played, and I think Precious is just there's a word for it that I am blinking on, but basically just a hip thing to be on right now. And I think there's going to be a steep fall off at some point.
Yeah, but it's just the minutes. It's like you're saying the minutes are going to have a fall off at some point
for Precious.
Yeah,
I just don't see he's going to. I don't think he's going to keep up with the market. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and as the lines keep getting higher for him. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because I mean, this is going to always be a sell when he's been at 10.5, 12.5, 11.5 points, whatever. Like he's been at a really low prop line consistently, and he's been flying over it. But now it's like getting close to where, I mean, we're saying the market's caught up. We're saying like this is not the number for Precious anymore. And then now is when you buy back in to Maxime, who, to be fair, still is kind of high at 14.5 and 9.5. That's still high for him. But if he's getting the full minutes instead of Precious, then that's something, again, we want to talk about deltas, the space in between what his expected stuff has been and what his actual line has been pretty good. That's a pretty good gap there to feel like the market's not catching up. This is the market, the blue line. This is what his expected output has been. So if his expected output is still staying higher than the market, you can feel good about it.
To Precious get really nerdy.
What's that?
To get extremely nerdy, and I know you're gonna understand this. Swish will, of course. At some point, you're just looking at the expected value of it. 9.5 is more valuable, in my opinion, than whatever Precious line is. Right? I don't even have to look at Precious's line to know it's more valuable.
And Lewis Gold says that the word you were looking for Precious is dog.
And there's no arguments there, but like you're going to reach a wall on it at one point. Yeah. You're going to be upset when it goes under.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll probably do one more before we dip in just a bit, but we just did a fatty recap that I don't want to make everybody go through once again. Quick reminder again, this is a code only available for today for those of y'all that are in the live show. Code Delta for 50% off, and that Delta is referring to this space right here. This is how we find some nice winners usually. This is gonna be a good indication of a pretty quality bet when you have his recent numbers going way higher than his actual lines that are available for the book. So code is Delta. I don't have anything else for this game. I like Trey Jones if Giddey's out, and I'll probably be considering some Giddey if he's playing. But that's all I got in this one. Which game are we missing here? Essentially,
we have not talked about
Toronto. I'm not going to have much for you. Sorry. It would either be Charlotte, Phoenix, or Washington, New Orleans.
I think Swish just said something about the Pelicans. Maybe. Okay. Oh no, he said something about Precious. LOL. I misread that. Yeah, I'm down to go either one, whichever one you want to go to.
All right, let's. Well, you bet something in the Charlotte game, yeah?
Yeah, but it's gone. That thing is long gone, brother.
Was it Musa 9.5 boards?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is super gone. Okay. All right. Well, here's what New Orleans has for us right now. Pretty much everybody playing. Boof. I would love to take a center for the Pelicans, and I don't know how you do that. This is the minutes in the last 3 games for the centers for New Orleans. Versus Phoenix, Queen 13, Makovich 13, Missy 16. Versus Sacramento, Queen 26 minutes, Makovich 25 minutes, Missy 16 minutes. So now they're playing together for a while, I guess. And then the third game, it looked pretty much exactly the same, like 16 for Missy, and then some combination of like 30 combined for the other 2 centers. I'm out on that. But if you want to bet anything, like Zion should do well. Like anybody who wants to attack the rim should do well against this team. I just don't know who's going to be doing that for the Pels in this one. So do you have anywhere to go in this game? Either side? That was my cap.
Obviously Swish is right. You know that too. My concern is like, one, you only have Queen, Bay, and Williamson like lined that could kind of fit that mold of like who's going to get the rebounds out of the people lined. And then you have DeAndre Jordan, Missy, and the people that you're curious on that has the value unlined. So what I think I'm going to do is when this game starts, I want to let DJ sit on the bench, and then I want to hit DJ for over like 2.5 rebounds. That's what I want to do.
DJ could start. We don't know. That's the only thing. Like, if he doesn't, then I love it. Like, but you think because DJ's missed a couple of these games too, but he's back, right? That's what I
don't know what they're going to do with Missy in. That's the wrench, and the DJ could start.
Yeah. We've got those minutes spread pretty evenly, like 18, 17, 13 seems about right. That's what it's been. So yeah, the random Derek Queen game that he got us over was like, well, that felt like a steal. Let's move on. When he didn't start and all these centers are playing. So that's always my favorite look at all of us. It's going to be against Washington, who attacks the rim, but this just isn't the team for me to get there with. And I ain't betting on the Wizards. I don't know if you have anything that you want to talk about for that.
I'm slightly Jeremiah Fears curious at 9.5 points.
New Orleans, though.
Yeah, no, okay. I'll announce this for everyone in the classroom. I am not betting on Washington anymore this season.
Good for you.
This is my Memphis. This is my Roman Empire. I am not betting on Washington anymore this season. Mm-hmm. But Jeremiah Fears at 9.5 points is pretty curious to me.
9.5. Yeah, it's almost like the DeJounte Murray presence is bumping it down too far in a sense.
Yeah. And then a weak opponent and an 11.5 spread.
And a guy who attacks the rim.
And a team that does not want to win.
Yeah, they don't. What's DeJounte assists at? Did those get to 7.5? Or 6.5 rather? Because at 5.5 I was interested. Kind of lost me at 6.5, and it's plus money. Yeah, so it's 5.5 for like juice, no juice for all the juice, and then 6.5 plus money. He played 22, 26. Yeah.
This is how I would bet. 100%.
Yeah, I want all of your opinions always. What do you mean? I always want your opinions.
This is how I'd bet. Like, just look at Center's first quarter live.
For Center's
specifically so, Pelicans.
Yeah, like we don't know who's starting, so we would need that information to feel like we know what we can bet on there. So I feel that, yeah. And then Washington, like Alex Sarr is back. Miss me with all of it. So, all right, this game didn't work out. Let's try one more with the other one with Phoenix. But Phoenix is not somebody I'm going to rush to bet on. And then everyone on Charlotte seemed pretty fair too. Because we've got everybody in. The only thing would be maybe some Oso stuff. It's versus Charlotte. You're gonna probably have to miss me with that as well.
So this is a system play that you introduced me to late last season. Jalen Green sucks when he plays a team that's competent. And so I'm kind of curious, and I haven't looked deep into this, of a Jalen Green under PRA.
Interesting. Where's Jalen? Oh, I'm in the wrong game. Let me pull up the right game. Phoenix, Charlotte, pull up Jay Green. And the problem is like last year, the usage was going to be spread around enough with other guys. And now he's definitely the second option.
That's what kept me off of it.
Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes and no. Because like in those games in particular, he was their Reed Shepherd. He was their offensive motor. Like, you're not counting on Almond. You're not counting. You didn't have Durant.
But you had Fred. So you did have another.
That's true. But Fred, you wouldn't look for the score, though. Is my point.
Yeah. Fred's supposed to be the floor general. The Jalen Green under PRA now. It definitely has my attention. Let me pull this up on PropsMadness to get the full.
I haven't researched this. It could be a super fair number.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, the 18.5, real quick. What this is showing us right here, like the 18.5 points on this graph. This green line, again, is just showing that his expected output based on his usage and volume in these last bunch of games has been not 18.5 or 19, right? PropsMadness PRA for him is 24.5. He's been up to low 30s. I don't know if there's going to be anything for the minutes there, but this is a top defense for sure at this point. They were awful to start. They're still 15th now in the middle of the season. You also got no Brooks, no Mark Will. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's not averaging that this season, that's for sure, in the 15 games he's played. And his minutes are at about 22. So if he's at 30, it's about even. It's about fair, but I totally get it as far as the defense goes.
And another angle here, too, is the Hornets just lost, I think, their third game on the year. And they lost a game that I think they probably think they could have won.
They should have won, yeah.
They're fine. They're running into a team that it's got Devin Booker back for sure, but is not at its strength, which I think you can discount some of the specifically Phoenix's defense because what's his name? Brooks is on the just recently had a DUI and is on the bench because he's injured. Yeah. I think the Hornets could run away with this game. I actually think the 4.5 point spread is kind of generous, and I'm saying that on game day a couple hours, so take that with a grain of salt. But
yeah,
I just
no question. This spread is what, like 4.5? Yeah, 4.5 because it's in Phoenix. Phoenix has been tough, man. They've definitely been tough. Even without Brooks in there, they've still been like the 10th best defense essentially. Only beat the Pelicans by 2. Yeah, lost by 2 to Chicago. I guess they haven't been as competitive in the last 2 games. That's not great. So that's fair. You could, I mean, we're not projecting like a full blowout, but yeah, you could say that like Charlotte minus 4.5 is still fair.
I'm taking it. I'm taking the under 25.5 PRA.
I love it. Oh, you got 25.5 in Florida?
Everyone's got it.
Oh, that just went up, didn't it? Was it just 24.5? Or am I? Yeah.
I wasn't looking at it at the time. Yeah, I'm going to take under.
Yeah, I didn't get any update, but yeah, under 25.5 PRA from Matty here on Jalen Green. I like the look.
I mean, he's going to chunk shots. So if he starts making them, you're not going to sweat. But if there's the very real chance he starts missing them.
Yeah.
And he attacks the rim, but you have Musa down there. I'm not worried about that too much. And then the Hornets specifically are really good at defending the perimeter, and it's a 218 points total. Yeah, I just think this all leans to the under on Jalen Green. Yeah. Devin Booker's back, so I think he's going to be absorbing the ball a lot.
Yeah,
personally.
Let's see if we got anything here with Book this season. About the same. He's just been brutally bad, to be honest. This has been a big part of it. But yeah, this Phoenix team not looking as good. He did well enough against the Pelicans with 25 points. Still went 8 for 17. This is a much better defense, much slower team. I think that makes entirely a lot of sense. Not entirely too much sense, just a good amount of it. So I'm with that. All right. Appreciate everybody jumping in, man. I want to see. I just want to make sure if there's anything else I'm not missing. Always looking for the recap. We'll fly through some of these. I did like Reed Shepherd today on the points. I took Pascal on the points in the PRA, like those 2 bets. Matty threw down. I know you got Musa, but that's gone. You took the assists on Castle. Did you get that in?
I haven't taken it yet, but I'm going to take assists on Castle at 6.5. RA for Jalen Suggs at 9.5. What else? I think that's the only 2 I've really taken. And I'm going to take this Jalen Green under at 25.5.
I think I'm a tail. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold on and tail the Jalen Green under here. I like that. Like Mike likes it too. Cash that. Let's get it. All right. Appreciate you guys, man. I'll be back. Videos are coming out in the morning. I know for y'all on the East Coast, it's like noon. So my apologies, but I would just rather have lines than force this stuff the night before, man. And I'm not getting lines to like 12, 1 in the morning. And I can't start doing my research then at that point, just get next to it like that. So, but like I said, on your way out, give the video a like. This is a quick one-time offer for everybody who is in the show only. It's going to end tonight. If you want to jump into the SwishLand dashboard, we've got that. We've got the SwishLand edges, which just pull out all the top differentials as well. You get access to everything on the site, all the tools, plus the Discord. Just for the live show folks today, 50% off for your first month checking it out. If you guys are interested in getting access to all this, as well as access to myself, Matty, and Swish in the Discord each and every day. So appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, give that video a like. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of the action coming up. Till we see you next. Happy betting.